Welcome to By the Railside podcast movie review. My name is Zach, and with me today I have Justin,
Hello.
Jordan,
I am a time cop.
and Jeff.
I am not a time cop.
Yet.
To make that cooler, I would have done it backwards too, but
Yes,
a lot of-
Nod Raj.
You what?
That's my name backwards, that's all I know. You're gonna get
Yerfej
Jordan.
Ekrabra is my...
What?
Yerfej Ekrabra
You
is
take
mine
that back.
backwards.
That's obviously German, you Nazi.
I am German, so...
You scum.
this week we reviewed Tenet.
Or Tenet backwards.
Yeah, it is a film written and directed by Christopher Nolan. He writes and directs great things, but he's a bit of a prick. Jordan, do you have our movie breakdown?
Not prepared. But it doesn't matter, because I'll have it ready later, and later is also now. Time is illusion. I shit my pants.
All right. This whole podcast will be done in reverse and forwards.
Michael Caine.
That's Sir Michael Caine.
Zach, what'd you think of the movie?
Well, I didn't take a lot of notes on it, so it definitely kept me engaged. I enjoyed the special effects. The concept was pretty neat. And the acting was well done too. I don't know, it flipped back and forth. It's definitely one of those ones where I'd have to watch it a second time just so I can grab everything else. That's what happens with a lot of his movies, is he like watching them over and over again, so that because you lose certain aspects of the movie, different things. But overall, I enjoyed the movie itself.
This was the first movie I fell asleep in, only briefly, but I don't know. Wasn't this movie just seemed like I said, I hate spy movies, so I'm definitely biased. But this was just like I just felt like it was bad Looper. I don't know. Didn't Looper just seem like a way better version of this?
I'm gonna be honest.
But-
I don't think I've seen Looper.
I don't know if I've seen it either.
I know.
But did Looper have stuff that went backwards by itself because it went through the time thing?
It was more of a standard time travel movie, but it was more about like interacting with your past selves and shit. But
which they don't. I don't think they ever did. Not like knowingly interacting with yourself in this movie, but I think in Looper they did, because it was like Joseph Gordon-Levitt was trying to kill Bruce Willis, but he was Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
There's a lot of open-ended in this.
What was capsulation?
What?
They at one point they just said like they kept referencing capsulation, and I was like, what does that even mean?
I think that was the machine that they went into to reverse it or go in the inverse.
Yeah,
That was the they had a different name for that. Wasn't it like the turntable or something?
No, it was. No, I'm pretty sure that was the flip through. So the capsulation process was him going back and forth. They did a good job too of like not spoiling things, but putting things in the movie, being like, and then make me go like, what the hell? Like why did he have fucking the air mask on? Like when they passed the one car. So I think the attention to detail seemed pretty good. What did you think, Jeff?
I thought the movie was fucking retarded. Like, everything just works in reverse as long as you intend it. but you can't breathe in reverse because fuck you, that's why. But you can literally suck a bullet back through a gun through someone that it was.
Yeah. So I think because it just reverses the process, right? So like I shoot a gun, then I go to the past and reverse that bullet. So
Yeah,
then by firing the bullet in reverse, it just gets sucked back into the gun, right?
yeah,
So
which that makes sense. But then why does breathing have its own mechanic suddenly?
because think of it this way, it would just be reverse, right? So you breathe in oxygen, you breathe out carbon dioxide. So then,
Uh,
therefore, going backwards, you would be breathing in CO2, which your body cannot convert into oxygen. So you just be fucking your lungs, pretty much.
but even just having an oxygen mask on doesn't change that fact.
Well, it's because you're bringing oxygen that has been pretty much reversed. So it's encapsulated. It's been reversed.
That I don't. That doesn't seem to matter though. Like if you reverse oxygen, you still have to breathe out the carbon dioxide, right?
Yeah, but
So
instead of breathing in CO2 and breathing out oxygen, you're still breathing in oxygen, and then your body just processes it normally, because from your perspective, your body's perspective, you're going forward in time, and everything else is going in reverse until you go back into the machine and go to regular time for everything, if that makes sense.
I don't think it
I
makes
think
sense.
breathing having
But
its own mechanic is really unnecessary and stupid.
Well, it didn't really have its own mechanic. You're still doing it. It's just you now instead of because you're in the inverse. So in the inverse, you'd be taking in
I
CO2,
understand
and
how
that's
it
why.
works. The problem is that nothing else has to follow regular laws of physics or logic, but suddenly breathing does.
yeah, I mean, I forget where they said it in the movie. They're just like they basically just say like just go with it, which is fine. Like just the movie sets rules, and as long as they obey those rules, it's fine. But yeah, this movie does do some weird things. Like maybe it's just where I fell asleep and I lost it. But at the end, where what's her face goes back to and she see like when she saw that girl diving off, like that was actually her. The one when she's scarred, wasn't she reversed at that point, or did
I
I just
mean,
miss that? Because
I
she
mean,
didn't have a mask on.
in order for her to be back in time, she would have had to go back to beyond it and then go back forward, right? Which I think
Yeah,
is what they did because I don't think the boat was going backwards when they approached it.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Maybe.
she wasn't talking in
Yeah,
reverse or anything. So I was
yeah.
just
No, it
confused as to how
wasn't
she
it
got
because
there.
the helicopter flew away properly,
Yeah.
so they must have gone far enough back and then turned around and gone back forward.
Yeah, it said when they were talking in the bubble, it was him and the protagonist. He told her, he's like, you will be waiting an extra day before you get sent back, just so that you have enough time to get forward and get your settings and everything like that.
So they could go back in time forward as long as they went back far enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, did anyone else like really get triggered when they would do their exposition dumps and they would just randomly change locations while walking?
I
They
don't know
like
what you
five
mean
times.
by that at all.
I was like, why? It's fine to have the expedition exposition dumps, but why are they moving all over the place? I was so confused because it wasn't showing anything in particular. Just be like, now we're outside, now we're by a train, now we're over here, and I'm like, why can't you just sit at a table and have a conversation?
Do you like how in a lot of the scenes when they're on the boats, if you paid attention to the window in the background, things are supposed to be going backwards. So instead of having like a long green screen thing that they can play in the background, they just played the same short clip over and over again on
Oh,
repeat.
really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that at all.
What do you think, Jordan?
I enjoyed the movie. I think it's one of the ones that I'd have to watch a couple times just so that like I could view everything because, like I've said before, like I hyper focus on one thing and I forget to pay attention to everything. One thing I was thinking of is like I'd really like to watch the movie with subtitles
Yeah.
just because there was a lot of shit in it. And I don't know if I just was missing it or the soundtrack was weird for me because it was the music and everything was like ultra fucking high, but then a lot of the talking parts
Yeah.
were really low. So I struggled to balance between that.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people say that with Nolan films in general, they're weird, but with this one especially, where he like did it where it only sounds good in a theater, and outside of that, it sounds like shit no matter what your audio settings are.
Yeah, like there was no balance. It was just loud as fuck, and then I had to like strain to actually hear them talking when it was
Yeah,
quiet.
the score wasn't even particularly good in my opinion. Like, it didn't really get me hyped up for anything. It was just kind of loud and obnoxious, and I was like, why? Why
Yeah,
is it so loud?
about halfway through, I was trying to think because like,
If it was in reverse or not?
no, I didn't,
Oh.
actually I hadn't even thought about that, but because at one point the guy, the evil guy, I can't remember the character's name, but he was checking his heart monitor constantly, and I wanted to know. I think it was the car chase scene where they were chasing in reverse. I wanted to know if that was like synced up with his heartbeat because I noticed it started to get a little bit faster.
As
then,
it was going?
Yeah, and then after like the crash happened, it slowed down again.
Yeah. I
Oh
thought
yeah,
it
they do. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought it did sound different depending on if they were going forwards or inverse. I think the music definitely had different tones, almost like the music was going backwards itself. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that that actually happened. Like they reversed the music as they were doing inverse stuff.
Maybe that's why it sounded weird, but yeah, you might be onto something with the heartbeat thing, Jordan, because they do mention at one point, it's like, oh, you got my heart rate up to, I don't forget what it was, like
130.
130 or something. It's
Yeah.
like they like specifically mentioned that, so maybe it had something to do with it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like I was trying to figure out what the fuck the heartbeat thing, but I guess he was just making sure his heart continued to beat so it would not ruin his final plan of.
Does pancreatic cancer affect your heart? I don't know anything about it.
I don't know if it affects your heart, but I feel like if it's inoperable pancreatic cancer, it's gonna probably spread a little bit. So you got to monitor your health because I mean, like with his plan, which I don't want to spoil right now, he needed to stay alive until the past.
Yeah, it looks like yeah, they actually did. They had the music played in reverse. So the composer that did the orchestral stuff had played it all forward and then had the whole orchestra play the music in reverse for the film as well. Just
It's a very fringe thing.
I
Like,
wonder why they had the orchestra play in reverse and not just reverse it technologically.
I don't know. Music people are weird. Maybe just and Christopher Nolan's a weirdo like that too. Like
yeah,
the
I can
attention to
imagine that
detail and stuff is-
conversation.
like the fact that the reason why I said in the beginning of this podcast that he's a fucking prick is because he is deciding that he's probably not going to work with WB anymore because Warner Brothers decided to this year because of COVID and everything like that, and people not wanting to go in theaters, they're going to release their movies simultaneously on their streaming service HBO Max and in the theaters. And Christopher Nolan fucking hates streaming services. Like absolutely despises them. So he's one of the ones that was super against like Netflix original movies or anything like that being able to count towards like movie awards and stuff like that. But yeah, he makes like there are good movies that he makes, but he's a dickhead.
Yeah, it seems like he's to the point like where he got so famous that he's just surrounded by yes men now. Because like I can imagine the conversation. He's like, "I want the music played in reverse," and the guy, the audio tech, was probably like, "Okay, I'll just reverse." He's like, "No, I want it played in reverse," and they were like, "What the fuck? Why?"
Cause I'm Christopher Nolan, goddammit!
Yeah.
One thing that's
And Michael Caine needs to be in all of my movies.
One thing that bugged me was the secret phrase in the beginning.
That was used twice throughout the whole movie? Yeah.
Technically, well, 2.5 times, because I think at one point he was talking to the evil guy, and he said like part of the call sign, and then he's like, "Oh, is that Walt Whitman?" Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but this is supposed to be like modern day, right? Someone would notice something like that. Like, what was it? It was, we live in a twilight world, and the response was, and there are no friends at dawn. If I heard someone saying that in public, I would stop whatever the fuck I was doing and pay attention to that conversation, because that's some weird shit happening.
Yeah.
You want to have like something that wouldn't be noticed. Like, oh, did you see the new organic honey at the farmer's market? No, I was too busy wiping my ass with a leaf. Vegans are crazy. They'd probably say some shit like that.
And then be straight up ignored too, like fucking vegans.
Yeah, yeah. And they're just like, oh, a couple veggie heads just talking over there instead of, oh, those are spies talking about some secret mission.
But I think that only, like, those ones occurred mostly when he was like the original. He was the original spy.
Yeah, before
yeah.
he was actually part of like the TENET organization or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Where you just like cross your hands, and which that was kind of cool. And the way they described it is the reason why it was the two hands locking together is actually how the movie got its name. What was it? Two simultaneous 10-minute missions meeting at the middle. So that was at the very end. Hence the word tenant, because it's 10 both ways. And then the gesture of the two hands locking together. So the amount of detail that Christopher Nolan puts in these things is pretty neat, and he does a very good job. What the hell is it called? Not spoiling things, like sort of like dropping little hints here and there. The trailer for this movie made this movie seem so much cooler. Like, the movie was good, but the trailers that he pops out, you're just like, it just grabs you. You're like, what the fuck is happening in this movie? It makes you want to see it.
Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer for this movie, but trailers are often done by a different studio entirely. So that's probably why. I don't know if maybe Nolan does his differently, but generally speaking, trailers are done by a different studio that's just like takes a bunch of footage and just makes something out of it.
I love when trailers just take like the 3 good parts of a movie and put them in the trailer, and just like, and an hour and 15 minutes of bullshit.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I definitely had questions when Twilight Boy like knew that he wanted a Diet Coke or whatever. And you're like, okay, is this guy reversed, or this guy knows something? And like, they don't really, like, he knows stuff and you're just kind of like, whatever. But then you don't get the full extent of what he knows until like the very end. So he definitely does a good job of like waiting till the end for a payoff there. But it was kind of like, I kind of wish the movie was starting at that point and telling me what happened getting to here rather than this story.
Yeah, because I mean, like, even like Edward said, that was the end of his journey, but the guy, the protagonist, because I don't think he ever actually like says his name, but
yeah, I think he's literally just the protagonist, which is I don't know if that's supposed to be like some Hollywood on the nose meme or if that was just laziness. I don't know.
Well, I think it's supposed to be like an on-nose thing, because at the beginning of the movie, he sacrificed himself with a suicide pill for his unit instead of like giving away the information, and that quote unquote is what qualified him for the program. That's what he was told. But when he was talking to Edward at the end, he was like, yeah, this isn't even like halfway into the beginning of your journey. So I'd like to see, like, I'm assuming they're going to come out with a second one to show how the protagonist met Edward, because like he said he had a master's in physics. So I'm assuming he didn't join the army at all. Like, he was probably in school, and then this guy's like, well, he's getting his thing for physics. I got to go find him because he's going to be able to understand this shit. And I'm just a guy who tried to kill himself and fucked that up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I definitely was like more interested in that story than the one that was told at that point. But I kind of, did this movie actually make money?
Yes. I think it would have made more. Christopher Nolan didn't wait. He really pushed for his movie to be released in theaters.
Yeah, I mean, COVID obviously fucked it.
Yeah. So, but it still made money. The budget was $205 million, and it made $363 million box office. So, still made money. I don't think it made as much money as it would have if COVID wasn't a thing, just because people would see Christopher Nolan. It's a neat concept, and it's well acted. The action scenes are pretty good. So I think people definitely would have went to see it.
Had theaters been open.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just don't know if this movie would be like if people would actually go see a second one. Like, I would be more interested in that story for sure, but I don't know if I would watch a second Tenet movie just because I'm just like the rules are so flimsy in this universe that I would probably be some weird shit that bugged me too. But I do like the main character. Like, he was really good in Black Klansman too. But
yeah. The cast was actually like really well done.
except the wife, she's a retard. She was
Yeah.
written badly and acted badly. I think everyone else was good, but except her, in my opinion.
I want to know if everyone else was short or if she's just like a giant woman.
I think she's just a model
huge.
that's just really tall. Yeah.
Let's see.
1.9
Australian.
meters.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff,
Almost
convert
2
that.
That's
meters
over
tall.
6 feet.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
If
like
you're
every
listening,
like
give me your number.
anytime she talked about her son, she was just like, "It's the end of everything." She's like, "Including my son." It's like, yeah, bitch. That's what everything includes. Like, what the fuck?
No, that's where I think that was a note to crazy parents, because like
Yeah.
there's definitely a vast majority of parents that would. Here's a situation: you can either save your one son or this group of 100 children, and they'd be like, "Well, I don't know any of those kids. I know my son, so get over here, Timmy. Let's go burn down a building."
Fuck.
They never explain how Neil or Edward gets to the opera house, because like it's very faint. You don't really see it that until the very end of the movie. But right at the beginning, when he gets saved before he knew about all the time travel shit by the guy with the red string in his backpack with the reverse bullet, and then you see the red string again hanging out the backpack of the dead guy right before they're about to actually get the doomsday machine.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, when he turns around, he's like, "Oh shit, that's the red string on Neil's backpack." But it's never explained how or why or like who orders him to go back to save him.
I think it's him. Like the protagonist is the big boss.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's explained in the movie, but it was Neil that saved him in the beginning. But there was no explanation as to like when he was given the mission to save him. So I'm assuming that was just
Yeah.
like part of his past. Like maybe that was his first mission, because that's all he did was he walked in, unshot a gun, and killed
Yeah.
the guy, and then just pieced. That was the only shot of him in the very beginning.
Yeah, and what happened that he had shot the gun in the opera house in the first place for the fucking bullet to be there to be unshot?
Yeah, so like how long ago did he shoot it?
Yeah.
Or whose gun
That's one
was
thing
it?
that like all the characters were really retarded about. They're just like, I'll fucking shoot him, or I'll fucking reverse shoot him, or whatever. I'll do it. It's like, bitch, there's no bullet there. How are you gonna reverse shoot him? You can't just like materialize a bullet out of nothing, you asshole.
Yeah, but they were also like really confusing because they were like you have to. It was like part mind powers too. Like you had to think about dropping the thing or whatever. But like they never seemed to utilize that, especially when he was fighting himself. Like they were just like scrambling and being all retarded. It's like the one knew that he could mind control stuff. Maybe the other one didn't fully understand it yet, but like the future self should have like kicked the other one's ass. Instead, they just like weirdly humped each other and down a hallway, and I was confused.
I think you saw it a little bit, because I can't quite remember. Like I can't fucking speak right now, but I didn't memorize the scene back and forth, because when he went to the future and then came back to the past to fight himself incognito, at one point in the fight he's like, okay, this is getting super easy, because he's literally just like, okay, he like looks and then blocks right before the guy like throws a punch, so he knows what's gonna happen. But I think it's kind of weird, like, because they said later on in the movie like you're gonna have some disorientation, your vision's gonna probably be fucky, like it's all normal because you're going.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't understand like why he missed those three shots against the window. It's like why did he even shoot those? Because like he knew he was fighting himself.
I think that was just for like an intimidation, kind of get out of my way, so but not
Maybe.
reveal who it was, kind of thing. But yeah, that the whole like they definitely did in that action scene a lot of like reverse stuff in that fight. They did. It's just the action was so flaily that it was kind of hard to see.
Oh.
there was like a whole bunch of like weird back flips and stuff like that that were actually forward flips and forward flips that were back flips and all kinds of shit like that. But yeah, the guy who comes from the future knowing, but see, that's the problem again, is just because you come from the future knowing the fight, you've already been in the fight. You can't just like, that's not how time travel works, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. It got very muddy after that point.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of the explanation too is like the fucking Robert Pattinson is just like what happens happens. It's always gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, it definitely felt like James Bond meets fucking Adventure Time rules at some point. They're just like, that's just the way it is because of reasons.
Yeah, although I guess they do that in a lot of time travel movies. Like I know, well, not this isn't a movie, but Doctor Who. There's certain points in time are very flexible. It doesn't matter if it happens or not. But then there's other things. I think like Pompeii was an example. Like that is a fixed point in time that has to happen. And I don't know if they were trying to go for something like that. Like there are certain events, certain things that absolutely have to happen, and there's some things that don't actually have to happen.
I think the movie wanted to lean heavily towards the if you kill your grandfather you cease to exist kind of thing. I mean, that was the paradox part of it, and it wanted to lean towards that because everything that they did going back into the past, you saw at some point in the movie the effects of it kind of thing. So they wanted everything to have an effect, but they also wanted it to be like unsure. They wanted to hold the suspense to the end. Are they gonna save the world kind of thing? But if they didn't save the world, everyone would be fucking dead, right? Like,
Yeah, I didn't. I think the satyr, the bad guy. I think him having pancreatic cancer seemed real like just chucked in there.
Yeah, like we
Like,
need to give him something
yeah.
to make sure he's gonna die.
You got like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes in, and then the wife's just like, "Oh, he has pancreatic cancer." I'm like, where the fuck did that even come from? Like that, like I definitely got like the checking his pulse thing, and he kept doing that, and so I was curious about that. But then she was just like, "Bah, he's got cancer." And we're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, like at least give it something to do with his fucking heart. Because
Yeah.
why are you checking
yeah,
your fucking heart rate with pancreatic cancer? Although
Yeah.
I get like I haven't done research on pancreatic cancer. I don't know if it affects the heart.
Like,
Also, he had a pill, like a suicide pill, at the end, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Was that even gonna fucking work?
Well, so I was kind of confused. Like, so his mastermind plan was to kill himself, right? To end the world
yeah.
Yes.
because he was mad that he had cancer. Like that was his whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he can't have the
if
world,
I
then
can't
no one
have it,
can.
no one can have it. That's his whole life.
Well, that was her explanation. At the end, he said it was because he didn't want his child growing up in the world because he knew what was going to happen. Like the
Because he
oceans.
did it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it just seems so weird. Like, why not spend your time going back to the past to find a cure for cancer or something? Like, I don't know.
Well, that I think it's gonna be hard because, like, I mean, you have to have. There would have to be a way to get unreversed in the past, and they had a bitch of a time just trying to find that shit out. Also,
I
like,
mean, if I see what you mean, but also why? I mean, that's kind of a selfish way to look at it, right? If you could just go back and fix or change something for the good of it, even if you're still going to die, you don't have to just be like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm just going to make a thing that'll destroy the world and then use that thing that'll destroy the world as an excuse to kill the world.
yeah, and then he references like something about like as their rivers drained, ours flooded, or something weird like that.
yeah,
So
the
it's
ocean
so
rises.
like he was talking about like global warming for his kids. Like, okay, go back and fix that. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or go back and fucking, hey doc, I've definitely got cancer. Don't even bother like doing blood tests. Let's just get this fucker out of me. Because I'm
Yeah.
assuming they're at some point it is operable.
Yeah, if you catch it early enough, for sure.
And so
Yeah, I think he was just a really, really poorly written and reasoned out antagonist.
yeah, because what's the point of reversing time? Like you're just gonna kill everything. Congratulations, your son doesn't have to go through that now, but he's already dead.
Your son doesn't get to go through anything, the joys or the sadness, because you're a prick. Good job.
Reverse birth. So you'll be shoved back up into his mom's vagina
Oh
and
my
then split
God.
into egg and sperm and then shot from the vagina back into your dad's nutsack. I don't think anyone would want to experience that.
The reverse nut.
But what is like would that suicide pill have even worked? Because like depending on where he got it, if it was the one
He got it
that
from the guy.
okay, those weren't intended to work. That
Yeah.
was a
Right,
test
they're
to
fake.
see. So he popped it, nothing would have fucking happened. He would have passed out for a little bit or something.
But maybe he didn't know that.
Yeah, of course he didn't know that, but then he wouldn't have died, and then so nothing would have happened anyways.
What happened to
Yeah,
the guy
that's
that?
true. That's true. He would have just got into a coma.
It's like the fucking Indiana Jones movie where it doesn't matter if Indiana Jones is in the movie or not. Like it's still gonna end the same
Oh,
way.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, they're still getting their faces melted. He's not gonna die.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
What happened to the guy, like, that ended up being like the original recruiter for the guy? Like that guy was just in that scene to be like, hey, yeah, that was a test. You passed it. Good job. You're Tenet. And then he wasn't there anymore. And then Michael Caine with his full ass mouth
Yeah.
slapping away.
Yeah, they were just like, he's just old, and he's like, I'm hungry. And they're like, all right, he can be eating during the shot. And he just said, fuck it, I'm doing one take, and I'm eating during it.
Yeah.
Because I'm 100 years old.
All of the fucking takes.
At first, I thought, like, when he was talking, I was like, okay, he is, like, fucking 100. So maybe his mouth just doesn't work very good. But then when it panned over to the protagonist, I heard him chewing. And I was like,
Continuity.
motherfucker, like,
Wonder how many plates of food he fucking went through.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is normally they have fake food on set, and they'll just, like, have, like, some bullshit where, like, I don't know, it's gum or something, or, like, they'll have one bite of something. But he was definitely full on eating.
Yeah.
They
I
got
don't even know
spit
what.
bucket.
I think there was steak on there, but I don't know what the yellow thing.
Yeah, he's 87.
Turnips.
That's just 87. Jesus
Like,
Christ.
this is definitely his last movie. Like, fuck.
But yeah, him just smacking away. It did.
Wait, never mind. He has like 4 movies lined up to come out this year.
Oh
Michael
my
Caine.
God.
His final role is just going to be a documentary where it's just them shooting his last moments.
It's just gonna be the fucking show from the last movie we watched.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, they're making another Now You See Me movie, for fuck's sake.
Wait, what? How am I? Like, I've seen you twice already.
Yeah.
I'm still seeing you. But I guess this time they are the eye. They know the secrets.
They don't.
Mr. Pedophile Mustache was actually within the organization.
They don't make new movies. It's either reboots, sequels, or remakes.
There's gonna be in a medieval movie called Medieval.
Ooh,
Fuck yeah.
that one won't do well.
I wonder what it's about. I hope it's about Vikings.
It's a sequel to
Chicken nuggets.
Knight's Tale.
It's about a Czech warlord.
Oh.
Checkmate, Warlord.
Thank you.
Or what's that? What was that one where Martin Lawrence traveled back to the Black Knight? Was that?
Yeah, I think
movie?
it was actually
Yeah.
called Black Knight.
Yeah. As if he's that fucking old, just pumping shit out. It's gonna be him, Betty White. That's what the movie's gonna be. Him and Betty White on the way to die, narrated by David Attenborough. Because that
That'll be a
motherfucker's still going.
That'll be a sad day when Attenborough dies, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
That'll
I'm
be a
not looking
feels
for
bad,
that.
man.
I'm not looking for anyone's death, but
I think we should really start thinking about what kind of world we're going to leave for Steven Tyler, though.
yeah.
Who?
Steven Tyler. You know, the lead singer of Aerosmith.
Oh,
Guy
The
that's
classic rock group?
90% cocaine.
Yeah, him
classic
and,
rock is shit.
Mm,
I know.
I don't know, man.
I know your dad is having an aneurysm somewhere. Doesn't know why, but it's because I just said that. But
I was gonna make a
I
rock
stand
joke,
by it.
but I couldn't remember any types of rock. All I had in my mind was malachite. I don't even know if that's a type of rock.
Malachite?
Is it kite or shite?
It's kite.
Are you sure? I don't think there's a K in it.
No, it's CH.
Yeah, just like chaos.
Yeah.
What's shale?
Shale spelled with a sh.
Malachite is a CH. Get fucked. It's shite. There's no fucking way.
It's a pretty shite rock, all right.
That's like an Irish way to say it. I need a malachite.
Well, it's just like that fucking minge. People in Europe, they say minge, but here, apparently, it's ming.
Oh, it's
Like,
not.
no, it's not.
Isn't minge like a slang for pussy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can say, like, I'm
Got the
getting
ginge
minged.
minge.
I'm getting minged, and that means you're getting, like, fucked up, drunk. I remember that because our cousin back in university, he's like, oh, yeah, me and my buddies are getting minged. I was like, that is not how you pronounce that. And we fought for, like, 20, 30
Minged.
minutes. I was like, you're a fucking idiot.
That's like a whole different word.
Yeah.
Getting minged sounds like you're going to do something racist.
Yeah.
Go get the fucking stereotypical hat and pull my eyes to the side. What are you doing? I'm getting minged. Get out of my fucking restaurant.
Head,
Yeah.
to the, head to the King's Buffet.
Just to get minged.
Well, that we're
Oh,
we're
no.
derailed now.
No, the Spanish pronunciation is malachite.
Yeah.
Malachite.
What the hell else can we talk about? Oh yeah, me and Jordan started playing Grand Theft Auto again today, and some of those car chases happened in our game today.
People
Yeah.
going backwards, swerving into your way for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
No, I was the guy going backwards.
Yeah.
It was all like practical stuff, right? Like he bought like a fucking plane and throw it into a building.
Yeah.
And a lot of the scenes like that looked like they were going in reverse. That was shot forward. Like they had to
Yeah.
memorize, because I remember seeing an interview with the protagonist. He had to memorize his choreography forward and backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the car stuff would be fairly easy because you can just put robots in the cars to fucking drive at retarded speeds in reverse. But
Or you could just man the fuck up and do it yourself.
I
Yeah.
mean, I guess.
Do you never reverse? You
I mean,
gotta-
I just watched.
Reverse.
I watched a lot of MythBusters, and that was in fucking 10, 15, however long ago that was. They were doing that shit, so it's probably really fucking good at it now.
Or when they were going to the first arms dealer, that lady in India, when they fucking jumped off and she watched them jump off to escape, and they just fucking unhooked the bungees, like she would have ate that. Like that.
100%.
Or
Like,
the crowd of people around would have.
yeah.
Some
And they
little
all
kid,
just
"What's this
accepted it.
thing?
They were just
Rick?"
like, "There's just another white guy in front of me. That's fine.
"Oh,
he
they
didn't just
learned.
fall from the
They
sky."
learned long ago. You don't question what white people are doing, or
Yeah.
else you'll get fucking annexed for 150 years."
Fucking
I like how they
imperialists.
got up that building too. They like reverse bungeed up it
Yeah.
somehow, and even like it didn't stop when they hit the wall to run up it. They like bounced off the wall and then got pulled up again. Like the elasticity
Yeah.
was still pulling them. That was
That'd be
pretty
rough on the spine for sure. Just yeeted up a building.
I don't know if it. I did not know if it went through the entire thing, but there's early on. It almost seemed like there was always a contrast of light and dark throughout the whole, like up until I think they started reversing, but even still, the red and blue.
Yeah, red and blue was definitely a major theme thing.
And I
there.
think that might have just
Yeah.
been to like, the red is going forwards and blue is backwards.
Yeah, because when they were in the fucking, where the hell were they? When the one other guy, I don't even know what his name was, the other one that knew shit, the like green beret guy. At one point, he was explaining stuff to the protagonist, I think, and they were in this room that was just like orange and blue, and I was like, why? Why is it like shot like this. It was so weird on the skin. It looked like you were wearing a bunch of makeup, but it was just the lighting that was fucked. I was confused at that point because they just stayed in there forever.
Was that maybe a nod at the what was it called?
I think it's right before they go through the roundabout the first time. I think it just stuck out to me as weird. But yeah, you're probably right. It's probably the red and blue combined, because they also have the red and blue patches to represent their forward and backwards shit. So it was probably just like, I'm gonna put a filter of both on because it's the in between.
Yeah, and then when Robert Pattinson and the protagonists went into the two separate rooms when they were breaking into Freeport, one went into a red room and the other one was a red and blue door as well.
I like how
Freeport thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I like how Pattinson walked through that place getting showed around once and just determined he knew where the thing they were looking for was out of all these rooms, and they had to go through two different doors at the same time for reasons, even though they apparently knew where this thing was. And
yeah, that's standard spy movie shit, and that's why I hate them, because they all do that. There is always a fucking scope out scene where they just fucking beautiful mind the whole fucking room, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, that's not how that works at all.
Totally different room too. He was some other one. He's like, okay, we got these kind of locks to go through this door. Then on the other side of this room, there's another lock that I didn't go through, but it's the same one, I'm sure of it. And then down the hallway and to the right, we got to go through two doors that I never saw. It's like, where did you get this from?
Yeah. Also, when the curator bails on them and just like fucks off, and then he comes back with medics like 20 minutes later, he's like, yeah, they'll be fine.
Like, and then no one asked questions when they got up. It's just like, oh yeah, you're alive.
The medics are just like, oh yeah, they don't have brain damage at all. That's crazy.
Well, it's because the weird guy was doing his weird breathing throughout the whole the second time they went through.
Was that just them?
With your friend, or
was that just them training to hold their breath? Is that all that was? Because they were doing that in the hotel room too, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah. So, if you like hyperventilate or like breathe in and out really, really fast, and then breathe in, you can hold your breath for a lot longer. I don't know the exact science behind it, but
you hyperoxygenate your blood temporarily.
Yeah, I learned it. I think 5 to 8 years ago, because I was like, how can I hold my breath longer so I can take a bigger hit of weed? And then for years I did that. I was like, and then I'd fucking just go to Mars, you know?
Huh.
Also, did the main villain not know how to fucking swim? Or did he just get knocked out? Like, because when they were on that speedboat that came out of the water.
The flying speed sailboat?
Yeah, like she just like unhooked him, and then he just
scene.
In the water. Like, how fast were they going? One, because why did he just fucking? Bleh, I give up. I'm in the water and I'm face down. I'm fucking almost dead.
I think he cranked his head off the boat.
Oh, maybe, but I mean, he had a helmet on, right?
Or just hitting the water at whatever speed they were going. Like, it seemed like they were fucking hauling.
Yeah, like I know those boats go like ridiculously fast. That's how they get out of the water like that. But
yeah, I just took it as he KO'd himself on the water because he was going so fast. But that whole scene, like, I get that they're just like, we're gonna do a thing that rich people do so that we can exposition dump or whatever. But like, why choose something that's so loud and like something you would have to be trained to do? Like, when they just run to the other side of the fucking boat, like they all just know how the fuck to do this. Like, why does protagonist know anything about this?
He's dabbled or whatever he said.
Like, I was so confused. And like, they didn't even like, a lot of times when loud things are happening, they'll just mute it for the sake of the movie. But this one, they're just like, no, it's just gonna be loud, and you're gonna fucking talk through a shitty headset. It's like, why no?
Yeah, that's the headset that you get at what do you call like tech support. Like, have you turned it on and off again? Have you turned your mic on and off again? Fuck, bud.
Yeah, like a fucking Xbox Live controller remote from the fucking 2005.
Well,
like,
the original Nintendo DS mic.
Yeah. Just waiting for someone to yell out profanities at me.
Yeah.
And I like how this like mob boss who doesn't trust anyone, kills anyone, literally like coming back from the future kind of stuff to deal stuff is like, You said the word opera. I shall now take you on my sailboat to talk with you. Like, what? Why?
Yeah, and also he had no bodyguards on that boat.
Yeah. Like, this big ass mob boss is a retard.
No, there was 3 in the hot tub, and then there's a volleyball court on level 4, and they were on their mandated 15-minute breaks.
Yeah. He
And
may
was
be
the
a mob
second
boss, but he is unionated.
No one is above OSHA.
the second boat I'm assuming was full of his bodyguards, but like he knew his wife hated him. Like it just seemed weird. And then he
The
just like,
character was poorly written and retarded.
yeah, they both were. I hated them both.
Also, I just want to know, like, who the fuck was who was communicating in the future? Oh, maybe it was him.
Yeah,
It
he
was-
was. They said that he was sending like emails, like anything that got recorded.
Yeah, but that's how Sater communicated with the future. But who in the future was he communicating with?
Himself.
I think it'd be, yeah. Because so the suicide pill didn't work. And then he's like, well, fuck. Well, I'm going to live, hopefully, and talk to myself in the future and then get everything sorted. Because like when he first opened it, opened the like crate with all the gold in it, his name was on that piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he had, like, obviously had never had contact with them. So it was like, hey, Sater, we know all about you. Also grab your shovel and kill this guy.
Yeah.
Then continue to read the letter.
Yeah, he seemed really calm when he found that. He's like, my name? Gold? This isn't plutonium.
Although,
I gotta whack this guy.
I guess in, like...
And who was driving the fucking thing that...
Oh, no, he's gone. He just flipped the fucking dirt and then he backs away. Dude, this is communist ex-USSR.
This is your job. You flip dirt, leave. Okay.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure if you were the fucking peasant digging through radioactive soil looking for more radioactive things and you found a fuck ton of gold bars and a piece of paper with your name on it, you'd be like, you know what? No questions asked. I'll kill you. I'm taking the gold. I'm out of here. I'm rich now.
And I like how the pill didn't kill him, so he was sending back information from the future, but didn't tell his past self that the pill didn't kill him. He's just like, yeah, you're going to do everything I did and end up in the exact same situation.
Yeah. Definitely had certain flaws. And I think, depending
It
on...
could have, like, a lot of it could have been solved by just having a character that had like the other stuff could be forgivable. It's just like the reason for the characters doing anything was so random. Like the fucking bad guy was just like comically evil for basically no reason. Like come up with anything that he wanted. Like just anything. But it was just like, nope, I'm mad and I'm gonna ruin the world because. And it's just like after that, like if that's your starting point, like it's very difficult to like come up with anything cool from there.
His torture methods, or his way of killing, seemed pretty neat.
That was the most detailed thing in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Did you see when she whacks him at the end and he like snaps his neck off the boat? His like head was like dislodged as it hit the water. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that hit hard. Like, I also like how she just kept going back to just water the
sunscreen?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I spilled the sunscreen, baby.
Yeah.
Don't fucking worry about it. We're rich. We're on a yacht. We got people for that.
Where's Red Shirt Slave? Where's he at?
Oh, we
He'll
only
clean
got
this
blue
up.
shirt slave now.
Although it was pretty hilarious when they were just dragging his body behind that boat.
Yeah, like no one would fucking notice that. You're not that far from the yacht.
Yeah.
Like, oh, where's my husband? I see Daddy.
Yeah.
Where is he? Dad. And she waited
Spent like
too.
half of her life fucking being jealous and mad at herself.
Yeah. Literally, she spent so much time. She's like, I wish I could be like that other woman. Guess what, bitch? You are the other woman.
Yeah. What's this Google? These are a lot of positive Google reviews. Where's the negative one?
You gotta filter by 1 star.
Oh yeah, here we go.
You should go 3 if you want like a realistic review, 1 if you want just like angry Karens.
I can't say that person's name.
Why?
I can't pronounce it.
Desisalva Todorova.
In summary, this movie is so bad, perhaps if we invert it, it will be brilliant.
But I mean, the ending happened at the beginning, right? Isn't that what happened? Like, the fuckboy got sent back to the orchestra, or did he get sent back to go pick the lock?
No, I think he.
He had to go
Yeah,
be on the other side of the cage somehow so that he could get shot.
Yeah, he had to go die in the hole.
I think that was the blue guy. That
That
was
was
Robert.
Pattinson.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Yeah,
But I'm like, because he dies there. Per,
in that section, yeah.
so it's never explained when he was sent back to the
He
orchestra.
he keeps going back, and just slightly like just to make sure so that things happen the way they should. So I
He's the
think it's almost a
mastermind.
battle between him and Sater at that point in the movie. Just
Yeah.
going back and forth, because Sater will get, oh, okay, so this happens, so now I got to do this, and then
So now we're into another primer thing where like, oh, someone is always going. They're just continuously going back because the other one keeps fucking shit up.
yeah. Why is this not loading? Rotten Tomatoes hates me. What the fuck?
Okay, this doesn't make any sense. I'm reading a
Rotten
Looper
Tomatoes.
article. The word tenant spells ten both forwards and backwards. The title of the movie itself hints to what's going to happen. How? How does the number 10 relate in any way to if this guy kills himself, the world is going to invert and then implode?
It's
Go
just at
forward and
the very
backwards.
end thing, because it was 10 minutes on red, 10 minutes on blue, so it's both, and one was inverted.
Okay. Oh,
So
yeah.
that's what it leads to there. But also the guy's got a fucking, I don't know how he's sending himself back, because technically he's got to off himself because he's got to hide those two big chunks. Why are you hiding them in chunks? Like, spread all of them out entirely.
Or
Put
just
it,
destroy them.
huck it in the water. Mariana's Trench. Boom. Hey, you're not swimming down there for
No,
a
no
long
one's getting
time.
down there.
And then if he's sending himself, or if he's the master plan for this whole thing, how he's supposed to be dead?
No, he wasn't the master plan. It was the protagonist.
No, yeah, the protagonist should be dead because he is the boss. Like, he realized at the end when he goes to kill the Indian lady
Yeah.
in the car, he said, "I realized that I was the one that planned all this. We were all following our orders."
Yeah, but no,
So-
because like Robert Pattinson at the end of the movie said that was the beginning of his journey, pretty much, or like halfway through his journey. So that's why I'm saying like they've got to make a sequel because you don't know what led up to everything else happening because you only see
Yeah.
the protagonist when his journey started, right? Whereas Robert Pattinson has like gone through all this training and bullshit at the end, and so that wasn't even halfway through the protagonist's beginning. So that
Yeah.
like we haven't seen his origins yet because he was the one that devised everything, right? Like he's the
Yeah.
boss. So the guy that recruited him, like out of the CIA, obviously had to know or like spoken to someone that spoke to the protagonist because he
Yeah.
was the one that set everything up. So he can't be dead.
So the second movie will be the journey of him going to off himself, because the other guy, Kick-Ass, that's the actor. He said that we all have to hide our parts. It can't be any loose ends, so that no one can find where these things are hidden. You have to go, and then you have to kill yourself.
Yeah, but he also said that when you do that's on your own time. So basically
Yeah.
saying you don't have to do it. Kind of.
Yeah, so like he's gonna be looking for you, and if he finds you, he'll kill you. But until then, like you're on your own. So I don't think he's actually dead. Like maybe he gave them to someone else because you don't actually know what happened to them, right? Because it never explains like what he did to him. It just like shows Priyanka. What was her fucking name? The Indian tycoon lady. She was about to off the tall Amazonian,
Yeah,
and then that was the last that we seen. But I'm assuming like that wasn't the end of his story, of the protagonist's story. Like there's got to be more to it.
Yeah, protagonist. I didn't think of him offing himself at all in the movie.
Yeah, and especially because like he has to be in the future, because how else
Yeah.
would he get the message from the Amazonian?
Yeah. No, I know that he has to be in there, but that was the end goal of those three guys. That was the thing. Is like, we have to hide these and make sure no one knows about them.
Yeah, I think that was
So that
Kick-Ass's
these-
goal.
Yeah.
But the protagonist was like, "Well, I'm gonna just hide it and then continue living because
Yeah.
fuck it. I gotta save the white lady so we can smash later." But then he'll go back.
Yeah,
into
I hated
unsmash.
that they like kept pushing that they liked each other. I'm like, you don't know anything about her.
Did they like each other, or was he just using her?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they kissed at the end.
Well, she kissed his cheek at one point.
Yeah, I
Like
was
they
just like,
definitely implied it, but
and I was just like, these characters, like, protagonist was fine. Like he had obviously had his issues, but he was like at least he had a goal of like save the world. So it's like, all right, whatever. But then like he just randomly gets hung up on like this fucking woman. It's like, who gives a shit? She doesn't mean anything. Like, if the world ends, like, who gives a shit if you get boner when you see her?
You need a love interest.
I
You
fucking
people
hate it.
suck. Why don't you make Robert fucking throw a real twist? Have him fall in love with Robert Pattinson, and then at the end of the movie,
Sure.
he's like, "Yo, guess
At least
what?"
they had like time together. Like,
Yeah, because that way they had a relationship built. Other than this is a fucking warlord's wife. Well, I'm gonna get some of that.
yeah, like she was clearly just retarded. He's like, she's pretty, so she's the one for me.
Yeah.
ain't that life though?
Tall, gangly motherfucker.
I mean, I think the best part about her is she can grab anything from the bed in your room.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the light switch 20 feet over there. Can you grab that for me? She's like, yeah. Doesn't even have to get out of bed. Flick it.
Yeah. See her from the back seat hitting the fucking unlock button on the goddamn door from the front.
That pissed me the fuck off. Take off your shoes so you can use a goddamn toe.
Yeah.
Like, you can move them. You can do so much more other than just smacking your fucking shoe against the door in hopes that it might hit the button.
Skills.
Not skills.
All right. Let's get some ratings.
This one's pretty bad.
We're
This
on
is another
like,
one I wouldn't watch again, so probably a 2.
we need to, yeah. What you've already chosen next week, so I guess we have at least a good movie to watch next week. But like,
I've never seen it.
we need to fucking get off these like 3-hour long shit movies, man. This is rough.
What are you going to rate it, Justin? Just gave it a 2.
I definitely would not recommend this movie to anyone. Unless if you're into spy movies, maybe. But if you're like me and you don't like spy movies, it's an immediately no. Because it also has this other shit baggage with it. What did I give the last movie?
A
1?
1.5 or a 2?
Fuck. These movies are all... I'm trying to figure out which one's the worst. How did we start where I was like, this Tiger movie is the worst movie I've ever seen? And now we're like a couple months into it, and I'm just like, there's so many bad movies out there.
I don't know.
Why did this happen to me?
It might just be the genre, because like we did choose like,
maybe.
the mindfuck genre, which is a genre where you have to have like a lot of creativity instead of just like he's going backwards and now he's going forwards and you can unshoot a gun and I still shot you. Can you reshoot those bullets?
Yeah, and then you get fucking radiation poisoning reversed or something.
One bullet, infinite fire.
I mean, I was gonna say a 2, but like, I did fall asleep, so like that's got to be a negative point, right? I'll go with another 1.
How about you, Zach? What are you gonna give it?
Probably a 6.
A 6.
Action was good. The effects were good. The main character and Robert Pattinson's character played well together. The story was a neat idea, so I'd say a 6. It's not. I would watch it again just to see if I could like figure out more stuff. Maybe with the subtitles on, even though I fucking hate subtitles, just because that like. So some of those scenes, like the house, like I had it on like 25 volume, and the fucking house was vibrating from the goddamn sound.
Yeah, and then they start talking, and all of a sudden it's like this, and you can't fucking hear anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 5. I was gonna give it a little bit of lower, but like it did keep my attention. Even if it was like me just paying attention to stupid shit and wondering why the music is fucking all over the place. Although I do have to say, within I think the first 10 minutes, there was multiple trains. Made me happy.
Yeah.
All right, so
We got like
doesn't
a
make any sense.
3.5.
I don't think I did the math right.
Did you carry the 2?
I got 10.5.
Oh.
It's the best movie ever made.
All right. And I was wondering, yes, we do have a
3.5. It was a 3.5 out of 10. Yeah.
redid the math. We do have a good movie coming up next week.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We can't really talk about it, so it might be
It's a short podcast.
Yeah. For those of you that know that we can't, the first 2 rules we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
But the third rule says you can grab Bob's bitch tits.
Everyone has to pause
Me
on
and
the
Meatloaf.
weird dick flash frame.
No. I've already got that as the background on my phone.
Oh.
All right. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, follow on Twitter and what's that other one? Stupid Spotify.
You can comment on Spotify.
No.
You can take a screenshot and post it on Reddit though.
Comment on You can comment on YouTube where it also is uploaded.
And tell me in the comments what you think a poop going in reverse would feel like.
Good.
Probably okay, yeah, because you like balls. All right, tell me what maybe a cummy shot in reverse would feel like.
Narrow your radius.
It's probably just like sounding, except
Just
squishy.
A cum shot to the eye, and the girl's just like, cleans it off. She's like, my eye's stinging. And then it rips itself off the rag, goes back in the eye. She's like, again!
No, it'd be fine, because this time it's like you're definitely getting everything out, because it's all going to shoot back inside.
Oh, my pee-pee hurts.